The most emotional experience that a person can go through to know that what they're working on is something that has reached a generation of people. You know, this is a classic film that established the Disney name, and now I'm a part of that legacy to some degree. It's not something I take lightly, and it's just the most emotional experience to see little girls dress up as Snow White, and I hope that they will for you.
Imagine being discovered by one of the most legendary directors in film history, Steven Spielberg, before even graduating high school. Rachel Zegler was just a teenager when a simple video of her singing went viral, landing her the iconic role of Maria in West Side Story. She skyrocketed to fame almost overnight, winning a Golden Globe and capturing the hearts of critics and fans alike. But with that meteoric rise came scrutiny, expectations, and eventually, a storm of controversy that would redefine her public image. How did a young starlet go from Hollywood's brightest new face to the center of a massive backlash over Disney's upcoming Snow White remake? This is the roller coaster journey of Rachel Zegler, the rise, the fall, and the potential redemption of a Gen Z icon. Born to a Colombian mother and Polish father in New Jersey, Rachel's cultural roots became a vibrant part of her personality and talent. She wasn't just another hopeful singer on YouTube, she had a fire in her voice, and a presence that demanded attention. When Spielberg cast her as Maria, it was a dream come true, not just for her, but for every young Latina actress who had waited years to see representation in leading roles. West Side Story was a critical success, and Rachel, only 20, became the youngest actress to win a Golden Globe for Best Actress in a Musical or Comedy. Her speech went viral. People were calling her the next big thing, Hollywood's new sweetheart. She was cast in blockbuster projects like DC.
A musical brings people together is something to be studied in a lab, honestly, and it's just the most fun movie-going experience, and I really hope that it encourages people to go out and see it in a theater, because that's the best experience to see any film, let alone ours, and let alone a musical.
It all started when Disney announced Rachel Zegler would play Snow White in the live-action remake. At first, the internet buzzed with excitement. But soon, Rachel's comments during interviews raised eyebrows. She spoke out about the original 1937 Snow White, saying the character was outdated and that the prince was a stalker. While many praised her confidence, others felt she was disrespecting a beloved classic. Clips of her interviews went viral for the wrong reasons. People accused her of arrogance, of mocking tradition, and of not appreciating the opportunity she had. Hashtags like #NotMySnowWhite began trending. YouTube was flooded with reaction videos. It wasn't just Disney fans, critics, influencers, even casual viewers began questioning her attitude. Rachel tried to clarify her statements, but the internet had already made up its mind. Her name became a lightning rod for debate about wokeness, Gen Z entitlement, and Hollywood's modern direction. Despite her talent, charm, and previous accolades, Rachel was suddenly cast as the villain in her own story. And as trailers for the Snow White remake dropped, backlash only grew. Some theaters reportedly considered dropping the film. Rumors swirled that Disney was delaying the release because of public reception. Meanwhile, Rachel stayed relatively quiet, occasionally posting behind-the-scenes content or personal messages to fans, but never directly addressing the storm. The silence only fueled more speculation. People wanted an apology, a statement, or even just humility, but she remained firm. But this isn't where Rachel Zegler's story ends. Despite the online backlash, she continued working, putting her energy into the Hunger Games prequel, where she played Lucy Gray-Baird. The performance was strong, and critics noted her singing ability and screen presence again. Slowly, some began to reconsider. Was Rachel just a passionate young actress misrepresented by viral clips? Was she simply speaking honestly in a world that punishes strong women? The conversation shifted. Some fans returned, others remained skeptical. But one thing was clear, Rachel Zegler was not fading into obscurity. She was fighting to reclaim her narrative, her voice, and her space in an industry that both uplifts and devours its stars. In many ways, Rachel became a symbol of how fast public opinion can change in the digital age. One moment, you're celebrated as the voice of a new generation. The next, you're trending for all the wrong reasons. But what most people missed was Rachel's deeper struggle. Fame had come fast, and expectations were sky high. Every word, every facial expression in interviews was dissected. In an era where a single TikTok clip can redefine your image, Rachel became a cautionary tale, but also a fighter. Instead of fading away or issuing a performative apology, she stayed true to her words, even when it cost her public favor. That kind of resilience is rare. And whether you agree with her or not, it's clear, she's not here to please everyone, she's here to make her mark. Behind the scenes, Rachel focused on her craft. She worked with vocal coaches, rehearsed scripts, and continued attending industry events, not as a celebrity, but as a student of cinema. Directors and producers still believed in her. And slowly, the narrative began to shift again. People started appreciating her talent, beyond the headlines. She gave nuanced performances, supported diverse causes, and opened up in emotional interviews. One especially powerful moment was when she discussed the mental toll of fame at such a young age, revealing moments of isolation, anxiety, and even regret. It reminded everyone that behind the glamour, she was still a young woman navigating unimaginable pressure. The Hunger Games, the Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes turned out to be a turning point. Rachel's portrayal of Lucy Greybeard was layered, emotional, and haunting. Critics praised her intensity and vulnerability. She wasn't just singing anymore, she was storytelling. And the audience responded. While not everyone who criticized her changed their mind, many admitted she was talented, maybe even brilliant. Slowly, she began winning back public sympathy. She started getting interview invites again, but this time, her tone was more composed, more thoughtful. She spoke less about changing Disney classics and more about empowering young actors to find their voice, without fear of being misunderstood. Today, Rachel Zegler stands at a crossroads. Her journey is a blend of triumphs and trials. She's not the same teenager who once went viral singing in her bedroom. She's a woman shaped by the spotlight, burned by it, but also sharpened. Whether Snow White becomes a hit or fades quietly, one thing is certain, Rachel is not a one-hit wonder. She's a force with a long career ahead. Her story reflects the double-edged sword of modern fame, where the internet can both crown and crucify within days. But Rachel's refusing to be defined by hate. She's choosing evolution over apology, growth over retreat. And that decision, flawed or not, makes her one of the most intriguing stars of her generation. So, the next time you see Rachel Zegler trending, look beyond the surface. Don't just judge her by a viral quote or a meme. Watch her performances. Listen to her voice, not just when she sings, but when she speaks from the heart. Because behind every misunderstood celebrity is a human being trying to find their place in a world that rarely gives second chances. And if Rachel's story tells us anything, it's that no matter how high you rise or how hard you fall, what truly matters is how you get back up. This isn't just the story of Rachel Zegler, it's the story of every young dreamer navigating the chaos of fame in the age of the internet. And it's far from over.